So, you've done it. You built this beautiful website, you hit launch, and nothing. Just crickets. If you've ever found yourself wondering why your site just isn't showing up in search results, believe me, you are not alone. In this explainer, we are going to break down exactly how to get your website seen by the people who actually matter, your customers. All right, let's start with a little reality check. Research shows that a staggering 95% of websites, ones built on the world's biggest platforms, never, ever reach page 1 of Google's organic search results. Just let that sink in for a second. That means for every 20 websites that go live, 19 of them are pretty much invisible. So that's the big question, right? Why? If your design is slick and modern, why can't anyone find it? Well, the answer has almost nothing to do with how pretty your website is. It's all about whether you're speaking a language that Google can actually understand. And this, right here, this is the heart of the whole thing. Getting found isn't about fancy graphics or cool animations. It's about having a very specific technical foundation. You see, a search engine needs to be able to find you, understand what you're about, and then rank your page. Without that foundation, you're basically just shouting into the void. Okay, so how do we fix this? How do we get seen? Well, it all comes down to speaking 3 essential languages that Google understands. If you can master these, you're going to unlock a whole new level of visibility. The first language is all about your website's health and performance. This is where Google Search Console, or GSC, comes into play. It's a totally free tool that's kind of like getting a personal health report for your site directly from Dr. Google. It tells you exactly what keywords are bringing people in, if you have errors that are making you invisible, and where you're ranking. The second language is all about meaning, about context. We're talking about schema markup. Now, think of it like a nutrition label for your website's content. It's a little bit of simple code you add to your site. It's not for people to see, it's for Google, and it explains what your content is. It tells Google, hey, this is a local business, these are our hours, and here are our customer reviews. This is exactly how you get those awesome star ratings and FAQ dropdowns right there in the search results. And language number 3 is all about measurement, knowing what works. This is UTM tracking. Okay, imagine you're sending out a bunch of letters. UTMs are like putting a unique return address label on every single one. You just add these simple little tags to your links in emails or social media posts, and that way you know exactly which marketing campaign brought a visitor to your site. No more guesswork. So, let's put it all together. GSC is your diagnostic tool. It tells you what's happening before the click. Schema is your enhancement tool. It influences how you show up in search results. And UTMs, that's your marketing tool for after the click, measuring what's actually working. They all do different jobs, but they work together to give you the full picture. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Code, technical stuff, that's not for me. But here's the absolute game changer. AI. It basically acts as your own personal SEO assistant, turning what used to be really complex technical work into simple conversational requests. For example, instead of spending hours and hours digging through spreadsheets, you can now use a simple prompt just like this one. You literally just ask your AI to find your biggest opportunities and poof, it turns all that raw data into an actionable strategy. I mean, this is what's possible right now. You can have an AI generate the perfect schema code for your page, analyze your performance reports, or even write the entire HTML for a new page from scratch. The heavy lifting is now done for you. This is a huge, fundamental shift. The barrier to entry for technical SEO has basically crumbled. You don't need to be a developer anymore to implement the kind of foundational code that gets you found. All you really need is the ability to ask the right question. But, okay, which AI should you use? Well, they each kind of have their strengths. For instance, you might use ChatGPT to generate all your initial code from nothing. But a tool like Claude, it's fantastic for cleaning up messy code you might have copied from somewhere else. For real-time research, like writing a meta description based on what's ranking right now, Copilot is your best bet. And to make sure everything you've done lines up with Google's latest rules, you can use Gemini to audit your work. So we've got our 3 languages, and we've got our AI assistant. How do we put all of this together into a system that creates continuous, compounding growth? Well, we use something called the Get Found flywheel. See, this flywheel isn't just a one-time checklist you run through. It is a momentum engine. Each part of the system feeds and accelerates the next one, creating this amazing virtuous cycle of visibility. Let me walk you through how it works. Okay, so it starts with schema markup, which helps you stand out from the crowd. That improved visibility gets measured in GSC, which then shows you opportunities for new content.
So you create that content on your blog, which builds your authority and answers customer questions, bringing in even more traffic. Then you measure your marketing campaigns with UTM tracking to prove what's working. And finally, all of this funnels searchers to your Google Business Profile and your website, turning them into actual customers. And then the cycle just repeats, each time with a little more momentum.
And listen, this stuff is more important now than ever before. That schema code we talked about, it isn't just for today's search engines. It's a direct translator for the AI-powered search of tomorrow. It positions your business as the trusted, authoritative source that AI platforms are going to cite in their answers. So the most crucial point we want to leave you with is this big mindset shift. You're not just building a static online brochure anymore. You are building an active, discoverable web presence, an engine that is designed from the ground up to be found by the very people who are searching for exactly what you offer. Which brings us to our final question for you to really think about. Right now, is your website a true business asset that's generating leads and growth? Or is it just another line item on your expense sheet? The difference really comes down to whether or not you're speaking Google's language.